Hi everyone, it's Joanne. Welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to decorate this uh, mini journal that I made the other day. I'll link the video in the description so you can watch how I made this. I made two books. One's just going to be an ephemera holder and the other one's going to be a mini journal, which is this one. So here we go. Okay, one thing I forgot to do in the last video was add the spine. So you had a leftover 1-inch strip. So what you want to do is cut it down to 7 inches, glue along the edge, turn it over while you still have some time, make sure it's even, and then press that down. So I'm going to decorate this book, and it can be used, like I said, as a mini junk journal. So if you go on vacation, whatever, a weekend, if you just want to record an event, whatever you want. So I have an envelope of dyed dictionary pages and some coffee dyed paper. Now this is just a the packing that you get in a package delivered. Now I have die cuts, but you don't need them. You can easily just cut out little butterflies, super easy. Just Google a picture or a little pattern and sit there and cut them out. I mean, I have some butterfly dies, I have some little flower dies. So that's what I did. I used, my die cuts, but you don't need to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look to see what I have. And this entire folder is full of vintage pages that I got for free. I Google vintage ephemera, free vintage ephemera, free junk journal pages, things like that. So there's a couple sheets in there that were individual sheets that I bought at like Hobby Lobby, but most of this folder, 99% of it is free that I just printed. Some of it is printed on regular copy paper and some of it is printed on cardstock. So I'm just going to pull out some things that I think would go nicely in this. I'm looking for butterfly things and things in the same color palette. So it's a great resource. I mean, you can sit there and cut those out, fussy cut them when you're watching TV. I like that one. I'm going to use that. Again, free, free, free. Who doesn't like free? All right, I did speed up this video because it was an hour long and honestly, it wasn't loading in my video. The video app that I use to upload my videos in. So I apologize, I do have to voice over on this. This is a little journaling card that I made before. Most of it's from Your Creative Studio. You can journal on the back. These are some of the envelopes I made. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that in this project, but I'm just kind of getting a feel for what I want to do in here. Now, this was a little envelope I made, and I really love it on the back. I didn't like the way I decorated the envelope, and instead of throwing it away, I thought it looked good. But I also love these little envelopes that I got on Amazon. Get a lot of them. You get like 3 packs of them, and there might be like 20 in a pack. They're all different. Each pack's the same, but a lot of the envelopes in the inside are different. So I chose one that I thought would look good, and I'm just going to adhere it on 3 sides so that not only do I have the tuck of the envelope, I have a tuck spot or a little, tuck spot in the back. I can't speak. So while I have a chance, I want to make sure that I have it even, and I do. And I think that looks really good on the back. It's very complimentary. So then I'm going to find my next page to decorate. And I decide I'm going to make the big card that's going to go inside the top of that. Now, there are some cut aparts in this Tim Holtz Wallflower paper pack that I use. So I decide to use one of those. but I want to decorate the top a little bit. So I'm going to take one of the free butterfly patterns that I've printed out, and I'm going to pull one that has some blue in it. I like to use my paper trimmer when I can. Excuse me. Just to get my lines straight. You know how hand cutting can go sometimes on a straight line like that. So, you know, use what you have, the tools. My blade needs to be replaced. I really need to remember to do that, but it doesn't matter with this butterfly. I'm just going to cut it down a little bit, or I should say this butterfly tag. I'm going to tear that side anyway, so it really doesn't matter. I'm going to poke the little hole there, even though I'm not making a tag out of it. I'm going to pull one of the little strips I had left over from the project. I will link this project below in the description, how I made the book. They're so easy, and I just love this. I would love to give this as a gift. I may keep this one since it was my first one. But I'm just going to do a little collage on the front of this. I'm going to use, what is it called? Coffee Espresso, or I think that's what it is. I really love my vintage photo, but I really need to buy a new one. I say that all the time, and I just never seem to add it to my cart. I always forget when I'm ordering other things. I think distressing makes everything pop. I'm looking in my Your Creative Studio, the last kit, because they have these great little travel papers. I do like that little book. I'm going to pull that out and use it later. That's what I'm looking for. Love this little pack. I think that color palette looks better. It's more in the same family. I try out a couple of the little die cuts. I'm looking for my stamps, and they are in this kit. I think it ends up being a little butterfly overkill on this journaling card. So I put that aside, and I'm like, I have some washi in here. Let's just use some washi. I'm not going to overthink this project too much. I sometimes can overthink it. I no longer think that, and then I overthink it, and I pull this piece off and move it over. Punch a little hole in the top because it is going to go in portrait orientation in the journal. Then I decide that this is going to be pulled in and out, and I think it's going to need a little reinforcement, the hole. So I sit here and I try to untie it, which doesn't work, and I ultimately end up just cutting it. I can use those little scraps in another project. It will just not give. So I get a little eyelet and use my Crop-A-Dile. It's only the second eyelet I've ever adhered onto something, and it worked. So I was happy with that. With the eyelet, the thick piece of twine doesn't really work out too well, so I go with a thinner piece. And there's the card. It fits right in there. All right, so I'm not sure what I'm going to put in this pocket. I did pre-cut some tags. Then I remember I want to do this, so I take a piece of coffee dyed paper, and I'm just going to do a small collage on that. I think these are so pretty. Again, they were free printables. I'm choosing one that I think that'll look good and not overwhelm the pattern. It's a pretty busy pattern already on that side of the page, so I'm not sure what I want to stick behind there, but I do end up just distressing it, and then I end up pulling out one of my dictionary pages. If you don't know how to coffee dye, just Google it. It's so easy. Literally just brew a cup of coffee, put your papers or whatever you want in there, let them soak for a while. Sometimes I put them in the oven. They say really low temperature, but honestly, I usually put it in around 350 and just keep watching it. Or I just let it, I rarely just let them air dry. I think I did that with the envelopes, but I usually do dry them in the oven. You just have to watch them. They'll start to separate and you pull them out and you put the ones back in that aren't completely dry, and it's a little bit of a process, but it's worth it. I do a whole batch at a time. I used to use tea, and I find the coffee just dyes a little better, but it's preference. I have seen absolutely beautiful tea dyed paper. A lot of people use instant coffee, and I think you can get a darker coloring on your paper. I just, again, every time I'm in a dollar store or a $1.25 store, I forget to pick it up. I don't know about you, but if I don't write myself a note, I forget everything. And then I'm just going to pin this on the side, and then it's a little journaling card. I'm not a big journaler, I'll be honest with you. I would just probably write where I was, the date, or whatever the memorabilia or whatever I'm putting in those pockets, whatever I end up using this one for. So I'm going to put the card that I had already made in that pocket. I think it looks nice against the yellow. I decided to put a little collage, mini collage on the pocket. Ink it up. I really need to get one of those tips for my glue. I get way too much glue coming out of the art glitter glue. On these kind of projects, I do like to use the art glitter because sometimes you need a little more wiggle room. Like if I'm going to make cards, I like to use Tombow. It just adheres to me a lot better, but there's nothing wrong with the adherence for the art glitter. Tombow, in my opinion, is just a stronger glue, a thicker glue. But something like this, and you'll see I'll put something on Crooked, so I'm happy that it wasn't Tombow because I never would have gotten it up. I don't want to add birds into this. This is a great another little ephemera pack of papers that we got in the bird kit from Your Creative Studio. But I found a paper with little butterflies, so I thought that went well without really overwhelming it. I ripped the paper down and then I decide I really don't like it. I liked it better straight, I guess because of the straight lines of the pocket. So I'll use that for something else. It's a little busy, but I think it all kind of goes. It's weird because the flower and the butterflies didn't seem to be correct in their direction. So I ended up on, putting it on like that. And this is the piece that I put on Crooked. And me being me, that would drive me crazy, even though I'm like, let it go. Nope, I just can't. I do end up getting it up without ripping it, which was nothing short of a miracle. And I have to put a little more glue. It makes it thinner and it kind of crinkled a little bit, but hey, this is a vintage mini journal, so it all worked. I never did distress around the book, and I decided to do that. I just think it makes it look nicer. I think you'll agree with that when you see it. I'm getting this beautiful breeze in my window right now. We were supposed to get storms. I live in New Jersey, southern New Jersey, like more farmland, outside of Philadelphia. And we've had such beautiful weather lately. I mean, over the weekend, Memorial Day weekend, it was gorgeous. No, that was 2 weekends ago. Memorial weekend, it was really hot, which was great for me because I belong to a pool. And last weekend, it was 80s, beautiful, no humidity. We get a lot of humidity here. And someone today said, where could I get this weather year round? And the answer was California. So it has been gorgeous. I have my window open. I don't know if you can hear the birds. Not sure what I'm going to do with this pocket yet. I think those tags are just, I don't know, they're just a little too dark. To me, they are for this journal. I really like these dictionary cutouts, but they're too thin. If I was going to do them again, and I will, I would put some kind of backing on them first before I cut them out. I liked how I just flip that out of the way. I'm like, nope, not working. But I did want to use one of these tags with the writing on it. Again, one of the free printouts. I debated whether to back this. It is on cardstock, but it's not a real thick, it's not quite as thick as cardstock. It's somewhere in between computer paper and cardstock. I mean, it had to come through my printer, but I think it's going to be okay. It would be like, again, another little journal card. I find this little tag, I am going to back it. It is just on computer paper, so I'm going to use some of my, a scrap from my coffee paper and make that a little thicker. I end up turning it into a little tag. I think it's a good time for me to thank everyone that subscribed to my channel, that hits like, that comments. I mean, I just really appreciate it. It gets my it gets my channel out there a little more doing those things. And I just love to craft. I've always loved to craft. I've gone through different phases with crafting. I used to make quilts back in my early 20s, and um, I made a little bit of jewelry. I don't think I ever wore any of it. But I've always loved crafting. I did a chalking for a long time, and now I'm just really loving paper crafts, and this is my love. I've been, doing it for a couple years. The journaling is a little new to me, the junk journals. Collaging's fairly new to me. A card maker, but I really, really love this medium, and I've really enjoyed it. So I appreciate all of you. I decided to make a little belly band here and put this little tag. I mean, if I found something that I wanted to stick in there later, I could. It's a cute little spot. But right now it's just going to be a little tag. I could put, this is the perfect little spot to put like the date, maybe where I was. I'm almost done. I'm just going to ink this up. I like that in there. I'm not sure if I want to decorate up in that corner, and I do try a few things out, but I end up leaving it blank. I mean, this little journal is definitely not lacking not lacking decoration for sure. I mean, if we could always just keep going and adding things, but at some point, we just need to stop, right? The Tim Holtz paper does come with some cut apart, so I just decided to add a few in there for now. Just to put something in the little tuck spot. And it goes. I think the yellow looks nicely with the other side, the other page. And here we have it. So there's the front. I didn't do anything with that. Tuck spot, tuck spot. Little journaling card, another tuck spot. We have that on the top. I love that little clip. A little journaling card or card. Another side pocket. I just can't leave things alone. I know I'm a little off camera there, but I stick another little cutout flower and the little envelope in the back, which I think is so cute. I forgot to distress it, so I just do the edge right there, and it has a little tuck spot there. Love this project.